Welcome to the KC Gamers Network podcast. I'm your host Daniel with my co-host.
I'm Jeff, and we've got some awesome stuff to talk about
He's
today.
He's sick today.
I am a little sick. I'm a bit under the weather. Got a little cold. So
Don't give it to me.
Oh, sharing is caring, Dan.
Sharing is communism, Jeff.
That's true, and I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, we've got a lot of exciting topics today, mostly news, but exciting news nonetheless. So
we haven't recorded in like 3 weeks.
That is true, yeah. It's 2 weeks. Well,
no,
kind of 3 weeks.
It was released 2 weeks ago.
Well, okay, yeah, but either way, got some awesome stuff to talk about today. I picked up XCom 2, kind of impulse decision. Big fan of XCom Enemy Unknown and the original XCom. I am an XCom hipster. I played XCom before XCom Enemy Unknown, or even the other XCom, like first-person shooter game, before that was announced. So I'm an XCom hipster. I played it before it was cool.
You think you're cool?
I
think you're so cool, Jeff.
Oh, I am so cool. So XCOM 2, for anyone unfamiliar, the general idea is instead of taking a Terror from the Deep type approach where they just do a straight up sequel after the victory ending, the approach they've taken with XCOM 2 is it takes place after you lose the previous game, with the game over ending. So you basically lost in the previous game, and the new game takes place 20 years after the game over ending. So the aliens have basically established this new world order, and XCOM is now an underground resistance movement. So it's basically like, it plays sort of like reverse XCOM. You sneak up on enemies and ambush them, and you have this one like massive ship that serves as your HQ that you fly around the world. You're trying to unite all the resistance cells and basically overthrow this alien government. But they've also basically like been experimenting on the aliens this whole time. So now sectoids are like they're not like these tiny little like dudes that scurry around on all four limbs. Instead, now they're like 7 feet tall. They've got a bunch of psionic powers, and they're totally ripped. The scariest thing of all. So all the enemies are really scary now. It's just the whole tactical element of the gameplay, though, I feel they've basically put a lot of focus into that. It feels so much better now just because of the animations now. Like when you trigger an Overwatch shot, the animation for that, like it makes the units being shot at starts moving in slow motion, and the camera like zooms down like to an over the shoulder view. And it's just so cool looking. It just feels so satisfying when you ambush enemies, and it like does several of those over the shoulder shots in quick succession. So
this is your game of the year already.
It is game of the year 2016 already.
Confirmed. So we got that out of the way. Give me about 10 months and we'll see.
So that's game of the year 2016 covered. We're still trying to determine our 2015 game of the year choices, mostly because we forgot what they were.
But well, I mean, I can't pinpoint one thing because, like I said, I didn't play enough last year from 2015.
Right.
So, you know what? Rocket League. Fuck it.
Yeah, Rocket League. I'll just call it. Let's say it's Rocket League. Sure.
That's it. KC Gamers Network.
It's Rocket League.
Rocket League Game of the Year 2015.
So, anyways,
congratulations.
Back to XCOM 2. The way it works now, you have your base meta game, because XCOM is a game that's traditionally played in basically 2 stages, sort of. You have the your meta game, which is where you have your base, you manage it, and you manage your soldiers, you can customize them, and develop new technology and equipment and stuff. And in this one now, you fly around the world. You investigate sites that are pointed out to you by local resistance cells, which get you more rewards like new rookies and money and whatnot. And so you have that metagame there that kind of determines all the stuff that happens in the main tactical game, which is a turn-based strategy type game where you have all your soldiers. They're out in the field and they're fighting aliens, and it's all turn-based based on you cover and your whether or not you're flanking the enemies and so on. It's just really well done, and it's very, very moddable. In fact, there's already tons of mods popping up for it on the Steam workshop now. They actually have mod support in there from day one. And I've actually been messing around with the mod tools a little bit myself, and it looks like if you know how to use UDK or the Unreal Engine 3 map editor, you're all set. It's really pretty pick up and play, or pick up. It's easy to pick up, especially if you've got some UDK or Unreal 3 map editor experience. So because it straight up uses the Unreal Engine 3 map editor. So
only use 4.
Some cool mods I've seen so far. A lot of people are making additional armor pieces and stuff that you can equip on your soldiers. One person made they just took a Shrek head from Shrek Super Slam and made it a mask that you can just put on all your soldiers.
There you go.
So
it should be, that should be mandatory download mod.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, everyone should have that immediately.
So XCom 2 is really good. I might do some streams of it when I get a chance sometime. Don't know when.
We haven't streamed in like 2 months. We keep saying stuff. I
might do it sometime soon, which would be probably
because I am waiting. I'm still waiting on funds for the capture device. Well, to build up enough, to get that, because I keep, you got car bills and crap come up. You know,
the capture device is definitely going to change everything once we get our hands on it.
Yeah, then I'll be streaming. Frequently, because I want to stream things that people don't usually stream.
Because the problem is I don't really follow a lot of big streamers online, but what I've noticed is that a lot of the time on their Facebook pages they usually announce a stream event, which makes it easy for followers to do that. So you might see, maybe even before this episode goes up, there might be a couple of stream events that pop up or so. Maybe not. Maybe there will be. I don't know. But
because the problem with we can just stream on PC, but the problem is frame rates take a hit if you do, especially if your computer, my graphics card is it's the 580 and I gotta get a new one. It was great while it lasted, but it's basically 5 years old, but it is so powerful at the time. So I gotta get a new one. So for that and actual editing and 3D modeling and all that crap. So yeah, once we get the capture device, we'll be streaming console stuff, which will make things a lot easier, in my opinion. Because PC can get wonky and frame rates. Because I tried doing Metal Gear Solid 5 and that's just the frame rate. It was like, I just want to play this at high frame rate. I don't want to play this at like inferior frame rates. So shitty. So
kind of getting back on our list of topics for this episode.
Yeah, Overload.
Overload.
The Descent creators, the original creators of the Descent game, like the first. Like what was it? 360 view.
Well, it was the first
360 motion.
It was the first game to take place in a truly 3D environment. Because
this was like one of the first games I had ever played.
So this is like just for example, this came out after Doom, but Doom, the way it handled a lot of its environmental calculations, your character moved on a 2D plane. The entire environment would shift up and down to match wherever your character was. So when you go upstairs, it looks like you're going up, but you're actually staying at the same level because all of your movement is handled in 2D. So that's why you can't shoot up and down like manually. Instead, you have that auto
Yeah.
aim type stuff. So Descent was a real game changer, technologically at least, in the sense that you could actually move in true 3D space. You would move up, down, left, and right. As far as gameplay goes, it's like Doom and Zero Gravity.
Yeah. It's a game I hold close to my heart, That's like Doom, Descent, the old Warcraft were like some of the first games I ever played. It's like that was like preschool, I think, or even before that. Like the first games I played were like some pretty hardcore stuff there.
Oh yeah.
And then, oh yeah, Overload. It looks like it's because it's created by the original developers. It looks and feels more like Descent than the new Descent game that's out now.
Well, I haven't actually played Descent Underground. In Descent Underground, I might pick it up. I don't know, because I was listening to some of the music from it, and it actually does sound pretty in tune with the music from the previous games. And from what I've read from all these early access reviews, apparently they have pretty much nailed the feel of Descent combat just in a multiplayer setting, because there's a lot of CQC stuff. There's a lot of stuff in larger open areas too. The maps are pretty diverse. But
close quarter combat.
I just feel like they've put a lot of focus into things that aren't really what I feel make Descent what it is, and that's like carving your way through walls, or having a medic ship to serve as a team healer or whatever. That kind of stuff just doesn't feel like Descent. It feels like Team Fortress 2 and Zero Gravity, and I don't know what I think. Well, not the destructive
carving through walls.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool feature.
Well, that was something that was in Minor Wars.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to say that some of the development talent for Descent Underground does come from a pretty wide range of things. Like there are people who previously worked with Chris Roberts on not only what's his game that I can't think of the name of suddenly. The big space sim that's going to be competing against Elite Dangerous when it actually has content.
Star Citizen?
Yeah. So Star Citizen, some Star Citizen developers are working on it. Former Star Citizen developers. Some people who worked on Freelancer. So people, basically, all the developers right now seem to have a pretty big background in space games for Descent Underground. But what we're talking about is Overload. And Overload is, it's so much like Descent to the point where, with Descent, it being a game from 1996, all of the levels were made entirely out of, like, if you open the level editor, you would basically make, you start off with a cube, and you can deform it, like you can change the size of each side, and then you choose a side, and you press a button, and you add a cube to that side, and you deform that cube. So you basically make your entire level out of deformed cubes. And Overload is using the same exact thing in its level editor.
Yeah.
So what it does is you make your level out of these deformed cubes, and it looks really ugly because it's made out of cubes, so everything's got these jagged edges. So their engine actually goes in real time and smooths everything out for you.
Well, it makes it look like you're in a cavern. It'll have like,
yeah,
it won't be cube. It won't look like you're in, a cube.
Right. They actually, like, the engine itself smooths everything out to kind of help, with the whole not making everything look jagged. Now, I would hope, for the sake of custom map making, that, like, the option to like basically affect how much an edge is smoothed out is available. That way you can have jagged areas, like if you want a more mechanical looking like wall or something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I'm sure they've thought of that. Anyways, it looks amazing. I even noticed in one of the videos they showed that there was they were just kind of like shooting randomly at the floor in some hall they were flying through, and they opened up a secret door. So it looks like it's very, very true to Descent 1 and Two's formula of basically being like Doom. It's a first person shooter with secret entrances that you can find, and all the token
I
90s
don't
FPS
remember
stuff.
what Descent 3 was like.
Descent 3 was much more of it was like an objective based thing, much more story focused. So
Like, was the
like
gameplay this?
no. It still had the 6 degrees of freedom stuff, and
Well,
destroying
yeah,
enemies
obviously.
felt much more satisfying as they explode into pieces, kind of like what they do in Overload, because the art team
Yeah,
almost entirely consists of Descent 3's art team.
yeah.
So,
What? It's always like the third one in a series. It's like always the most different. You notice that?
yeah, I've noticed that. Like
Doom
Guitar
3,
Hero
Descent
3,
3.
Guitar Hero 3 even, they switched developers, even though it was technically the fourth game in the series, but
Thinking like
still.
Rogue Squadron 3.
Rogue Squadron 3 isn't really,
Well,
it's not,
they added all that
they added a lot of stuff,
ground
yeah.
crap, which was not good.
Yeah.
Um, uh, what else? It's always Warcraft 3 seemed a lot different.
The third XCom game was Interceptor, which was it was like an X-wing style space sim. It
Yeah.
was bad.
Diablo 3.
hmm
Um,
That was more of a reboot of sorts, since that series has been laying dormant for so
well,
long.
Doom 3 is a reboot,
That's true.
but I mean, it's the third one.
hmm
Just always feels because the second one, it's like they're trying to like do the same thing,
Mm.
but like make it a little bigger or better. And then the third one, they're just like, okay, we need to switch this up,
Now,
do something new.
another thing that makes me really excited about Overload is the fact that the music is being done by I don't remember these. I know one of the composers is Alistair Brimble. The other one I don't remember the name of though. It's Daniel something. It's not you,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it is.
basically Alistair Brimble is the guy that composed the CD music for Descent 1, which was featured in the PlayStation and Macintosh releases of the game. And the other guy, he was the composer for the MIDI music, some of which was adapted into the CD soundtrack for Descent 2. So they're both collaborating on the soundtrack for Overload, which is incredibly exciting. So it's going to have a very much actually like Descent-like soundtrack.
Yeah. So yeah, go visit. Was it on Kickstarter or
they have their
Indiegogo?
Kickstarter. We'll have a link in the description for the video for this
Well,
video
hopefully,
or whatever.
if you remember. Well,
Remember?
you can edit.
That's true. Yeah, I can't edit
stuff because I'm the one who's doing all the damn editing. Damn it, Jeff.
All right. So, anyways, next, Facebook recently announced
They got chess now.
they've got
next,
chess.
Next topic.
Dan's not a big fan of chess. I like chess, kind of.
Well, I mean, it's
play it
just
a ton. But
Facebook.
this could open the door for seeing more games being available to play through Facebook chat, which I think is interesting. Not only from a design perspective, but like from a social gaming perspective as well. So, anyways, the way this works is you type FBCHESS. Sorry, you do a little @ symbol, then FBCHESS space play. I think is the command. And I think if you type help instead of play, it'll like show you a list of all the commands, and it'll let you play chess with somebody through Facebook chat. So it's actually really cool. I can see them totally implementing more games like this. Like even Civ, I could see being implemented into this in some way, maybe with a better UI as opposed to just doing everything through text commands. But basically, any game that you can play via email, totally.
That seems a little bit of a
Possible.
stretch.
I don't know. Well, is it though? Because any game you can play by email could very easily be.
Civilization? Like,
Civ
are you
can
gonna?
play by email?
I know, but how? You don't have enough screen space. Like, how are you gonna scroll the
Hey,
map?
they had Civ on those early 2000s color screen smartphones. the slide out
Yeah,
keyboards.
but you could like
It was
move the
horrible.
screen and shit. I don't know how you can do that with Messenger.
Yeah. So,
Um,
anyways, I
anyway,
think it's interesting that they're starting to experiment with games in the Facebook chat platform. I think that's really interesting. So, anyways, next topic.
the new Smash DLC is out with Bayonetta and Corrin from Fire Emblem, and both characters to me feel pretty great.
I agree.
I surprisingly like Corrin more
Mhm.
because that side B is just
Oh,
so
yeah. I like
impale your freaking. It's so satisfying.
especially in sudden death.
Ooh, and I like it.
I mean, I'm sure it feels horrible to the other end of that, but
But I think Bayonetta feels like she's overpowered with those combos and that
I don't
down
know.
that down B.
I'm still trying to get the hang of Bayonetta because I keep forgetting to use the down B, or I'm having trouble getting the timing right on it.
It's because you sucked, Jeff.
But I do really like Bayonetta. I just need to figure out how to get get that side B to connect in midair. But the fact that she has her gun arts like in the same way that she has them in Bayonetta, so like
Hold down.
you're doing your A string and you can actually like hold it down just like during any part of the combo to just fire your guns in that pose. And then you can continue to press A to continue the combo, just like in Bayonetta, and it's really cool. I did notice that her standard special, where she just fires her guns, if you charge it, it actually does KO in sudden death. So that seems a little broken. I don't know. It does seem like something to be really easy to predict, though, and punish. But whenever I fight level 9 AI and I get into sudden death, I'm just, okay, I'm holding down the B button and letting go, and then I win.
With
'Cause it
these
jump-
are the two last characters,
Yes.
and apparently they are done
Yep.
balancing. Too.
That's the end.
No more patches, which is kind of disappointing.
Mm.
Because
Well, I don't know.
they're not even gonna bother to balance.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if some huge game-breaking thing is found with Bayonetta, then it's going to be there for the rest of whenever. And
Because they're not going to know what's truly balanced until people play in tournaments and people play on the ranked online. You got to combine all that, look at it, and see who is broken and who isn't.
I can't see them being done with balance patches, but they are done with content. I can see.
Because I
maybe,
thought I
like,
heard they were done with patches.
I
Period.
could see maybe like one more patch being made, maybe if some huge game-breaking thing is found. But that's it, I think. The rumor right now is that supposedly the NX is going to get a Smash game for its launch, which does not sound plausible to me.
Well, I think it would be this one.
Maybe.
But then they said they were done.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think this is just. I don't know. Who knows?
So
it's Nintendo. They
yeah.
lie all the time. Well, any company does. So, or they just don't tell everything.
But you got to keep some surprises for your fans.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like they'll say one thing and then
Oh yeah.
something else happens. But yeah, Mr. Sakurai. He said he's on a long extended vacation. Hopefully not the one Kojima was on.
Oh yeah. Well,
but
here's the difference.
unless he retired here.
Here's the difference. Kojima flat out said I was fired from Konami, and Sakurai and Konami said that he was on a very long vacation. And here's Sakurai here's Sakurai saying that he's just on a long vacation. So, but either way, yeah, I imagine he said that it drains him. It drained him a lot. He
deserves it.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, deserves to just play Smash endlessly. Man,
I think he's done with that.
Actually, does not sound like a good time.
Like you sit there and you work on your game like that's all you do every day, like 60-hour, 80-hour weeks.
Okay, Mr. Sakurai, you can have your vacation, but you have to play Smash through every single waking hour of it.
Looking at your own game that long, like you'd be, oh man, dear God.
Well,
don't know.
maybe we can find Sakurai an online multiplayer and live stream a game against him.
I don't know if you're gonna know
That's
how
true.
you're gonna know that,
Well, we can guess, maybe.
because it's just their me name, and
We
you can
just
name it anything.
started lobby with friends and have someone join the Sakurai me, and whenever they're in voice chat, the only thing they say is "Konnichiwa."
Jeff.
See, I know how to get the views rolling in
Yeah.
through cheating.
Well,
So, anyways,
Sakurai is he's on vacation, so the next topic.
stop asking him for Goku. He's not going
Or
to put him in
Shrek.
the game. Shrek's not going to be in the game either.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, this next topic is about Steam refunds. There's a recent article on Polygon. There's like an opinion piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's about refunds and Steam, and there's been some people kind of...
Opinion pieces are pretty much all Polygon is now anymore, isn't it?
No, they do. I don't know.
I think their opinion pieces like outweigh their news like 20 to 1. Anyways.
This is the only one I've read. But anyway, the article about how, Firewatch, it's like the new game that came out. It's like $18. And it's short. It's like 2-3 hours long or something.
Mm-hmm.
And people are refunding it even though they enjoyed it and got fulfillment out of it. They liked it and then they refunded it, got their money back.
Basically, these people are saying what they're doing is they're buying the game, playing through it because it's like a 2-3 hour game. It's $18. So they play through the whole game, and then they do a Steam refund for it since they hadn't played it long enough to actually, go past the Steam refund period. So they buy the game, play through the whole thing, and then refund it. And after leaving a glowing review, of course, because you don't want to have a negative impact on the developer's sales because you refunded it just because you were a little low on money. That doesn't validate it at all, though.
Well, unless you're like bankrupt and you absolutely need the money.
Yeah, but then why would you buy the game in the first place?
Well, I mean, something happened. Like
Right.
you have a car, your transmission goes out and you owe $2,500. You're gonna need every penny you can get.
Right.
I mean, that's what I would do if I was completely broke. But okay, the people that don't have an emergency, which is probably most of these people, they're just getting their money back because they can.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are you doing?
Well, I think I did read part of the article, and one of the guys that they did explicitly point out did say that he returned it because he was a little low on money, but he was also low on money in the first place. So
yeah,
it's kind of like when you buy a game, you're like, oh, I really shouldn't have spent that much on it, but you also already played through the whole game, but you can still get a refund on it.
Okay, here's the thing though, you can, even if it's more than 2 hours. Valve is so lax on it. You can get your money back. I've done it on like some like early access games, or like I've refunded about 2 or 3 games, I think, and one of them it was more. It was past 2 weeks too. It was like 4 weeks, and they still refunded it.
But here's the thing: they do keep an eye on how frequently you're requesting refunds. And they actually will ban you from getting refunds.
Has there been people banned?
Yes, because they actually will stop you from. They will block your account from being able to issue to do refunds if they determine that your account is trying to exploit the system, such as like this. That was what they said the first day they announced it.
So there's been refunds.
So there is a system in place
Firewatch.
to prevent this, but you can't
not refund,
base all of your. You can't like base a banning system off of one instance.
No.
So like, if let's say I do this with Firewatch, I finish the game and then I issue a refund for it. Then I go buy say some other short indie game, I finish it, issue a refund. I do this like 5 indie games. They're gonna notice that I
would hope
doing refunds, and then my account gets blocked from being able to request refunds.
Lord Gaben is watching.
Yes. And you can call this Big Brother as much as you want, but stop trying to steal money from indie developers, and Big Brother will stop trying to watch you. So,
Like you're stealing from indie developers,
well,
like,
you need the money more than they do.
or
No.
small developers. And it's like they
It just
need
makes me think of those people who pirate indie games to then say,
those
"Oh,
games are
but I'm
cheaper
going
to
to
begin with.
no, but I'm going to buy it eventually. I just wanted to play it now," and then they never buy
Well,
it.
maybe they will, but a lot of the time, no. Some
So,
people are like that, and they do buy it eventually. But there's argument against that as well. We could have used that money when I was starving a few weeks ago or some. But um, indie development is a risk
mhm.
you're taking.
Agree 100%.
But a lot of people do it in their free time.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's not easy to get anything going. It's so hard. Even though it's easier than ever now. And there's a lot of crap now. There's a lot of crap, but there's
It
because
actually reminds me of another story that popped up a few weeks ago regarding the Steam's refund thing. Kind of the opposite, actually. A indie developer actually exploiting the refund system. And I think I may have talked about this on the show. I think I did. But I forget the name of the game. I think it's been removed from Steam because
a
it
one
was
game.
actually found to be a scam. So the developer basically he advertised this game as, okay, so this is like the hardest indie game ever. The puzzles are so hard, you're never going to find it. You're never going to
Yeah,
solve it.
that one. Yeah,
So
you did.
basically the first level, it was, nobody could figure out how to beat it. It was a very obscure thing. You walk around top-down view, and he gives you like one word on the titles on the loading screen, and then plops in the level. So in order to get to the next level, you have to solve the puzzle, which you are supposed to be able to learn by figuring out things as you play through the level. But as it turns out, and this is the great thing, somebody looked in the game files, and they discovered that there was actually no data for the remaining 8 levels in the game. They were actually just empty Unity scene files.
Yeah,
So,
see, you're gonna get.
here's the thing though. This is how this relates to Steam refunds. The developer said in the chat, in the forums or whatever, for the game on Steam, a lot of people complaining about this. He says, "Oh no, there's other levels in the game. And you just need a hint. And here's a hint: the trading cards have hints in them.
Only after
So-
2 hours or something.
So in order to get all the trading card drops for a Steam game, you have to have played that game longer than the period of time that you would have to refund it. And of course, the trading cards don't give you hints; they just have like random words on them. So,
Jesus.
basically, and the reason they have that system in place is so that you can't just like buy a game, have it run for a few hours, and get all the trading cards, then refund it. So then you can just sell the trading cards and get free money on Steam. So, anyways,
Oh my
the
god.
whole thing, I think the game got removed. I would hope it would be, but
Yeah, that's
that's kind of an example of the inverse in this situation.
I mean, there's positives and negatives to everything, so you're gonna get crap like that when you lower the barrier of entry.
Mm-hmm. With
You're gonna
Steam
get,
Greenlight,
you're gonna get gems. You're gonna get hidden. You're gonna get gems that wouldn't have happened otherwise. But you're gonna get a lot of crap that wouldn't have happened otherwise.
and Steam Greenlight has really opened that door. It's $100, to just apply to it. So,
is reasonable.
mm-hmm.
And you've paid the fee. And you
I have.
need to
I
do
need
something
to get
with
something on there. I have no idea what to put on there,
it, along
though.
with your
You gotta put business call on there. I don't know.
the hit game.
I don't know what
buy
to
it.
do with it.
We'll put the link in the description. Buy it. 99 cents.
This
I think.
episode brought to you by Business Call.
Oh, you're paying me?
Available on Google Play. I'm paying myself for this. Wait, that's not how the.
And me.
Anyways, um, so moving on. You wanted to talk about Arc, which is the
No, I
open.
want to talk about early access,
Oh, early access. That's right. Yeah. Um,
um, which ARC ties into.
yeah.
Um,
So early access on Steam, for anyone who doesn't know, is a program they're doing on Steam where you basically have developers, they put their game up on Steam before it's finished. And the store page very clearly states this game is in early access, it's not finished yet. So basically the idea is you buy into the game early, sometimes at a reduced price, and sometimes with some special pre-order bonuses, kind of. So you buy into the game early, and you basically get to play. The developer uploads all of their builds, or development builds to Steam, and you basically get to play a game that's in constant development.
yeah, there's been games that have been. It's been years. Like what's it called? Uh, Overgrowth.
Rust is still in development.
Overgrowth has been in development. About that like well over a year ago.
Hmm.
It's still in alpha or whatever, which is early access.
Hmm.
And I don't think they've made like any progress. They haven't made that much progress. So it's like, okay. I mean, they usually discount the price a lot of the times. Like Arc is $30. It's going to be $60, I think.
Hmm.
Which is it's scheduled to release in June or something on consoles too. And it's like, I can barely run this game on my decent gaming rig
Hmm.
on lower settings, like low settings. And I'm like, okay, this is unplayable right now, and it feels like it's a year away.
And part of the problem is that some indie developers, they have recognized that this is an exploitable system, and so you have developers who put their game up on there and they never update it. So like even uh who was it? Let me think. It was Interplay. That's right. Interplay uploaded Battle Chess on there. It's a reboot of the storied Battle Chess franchise, where it's just fucking chess and they have little animations when you take another piece. But it's the game went up in like March of like I don't remember what year, some year, and in early access. It had a couple updates through to April, and then the next month there was an update. Nothing until the next year. The
Jesus.
developer said that he had or later would say that he had a family crisis and could not work on the game. Would have been nice to let your, customers know that you would be able to update the game,
Like
but
if I'm in a family crisis, I'm still gonna tell people. It's not like he didn't have access to internet or something, or his, the update his the information or blog or whatever,
mhm.
or whatever. So I don't understand that at all. Why you can't update it
Mhm.
unless you're like stranded out in the middle of nowhere. I don't. But then you'd probably hear about it on the news and someone's missing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what. I don't know. I don't. The early access thing.
It has the potential to rip you off.
It's another mixed bag. People abuse it. Then there's people that don't abuse it. But I think a lot of the time it seems like it lasts forever.
Hmm.
But the good thing is they do offer a discount usually, or it goes
Yeah.
on sale.
Like I bought into Tron Runner early access because I'm a massive Tron fan and I just impulse buy anything with the word Tron on it. But I got it at early access, got it at a discounted price, got to play the new levels as they came out. It was pretty cool. And I think the full game is out now. Actually,
Because if I'm paying full price for early access,
uh-huh.
that is screwed up. That should
Yeah.
not be allowed. Like it should be a discount.
Oh, you don't want to pay full price for a game that might be finished sometime.
Because you know how, yeah, it's like Kickstarter, at least. Well,
And then we can't forget about early
You
access
get perks
games.
for a Kickstarter.
Yeah, but we can't forget about early access games that aren't sold under the early access name, like Star Citizen, which has an ever-growing feature list that's totally not in the realm of reasonability at all for any kind of release date this lifetime.
I mean, games are getting so complex and big that I feel like some of them kind of do need that money, early access money or Kickstarter
Here's
money.
the thing here's the thing about that concerns me though. You know, what you end up with is a bunch of early access games. And this has happened in a lot of occasions. So this dev puts their game up on Steam on early access following a successful Kickstarter campaign, right? So, people buy it, and then they post an announcement saying, development on this game has ceased due to not enough people buying it in early access. Thanks for the Kickstarter money. Thanks for the early access money. Game gets taken down from Steam. It happens all the time.
They don't get their money back.
That's right. You cannot get your money back. Because
it's like an
in
investment.
your Steam library.
What's that new one that's out that you get like profit? You get a percentage of like the profit.
Oh gosh, I don't remember. It was the thing that Psychonauts 2 was funded through.
Which all these platforms to get money, they're gonna have positives and negatives, and it's just the way it is. So, and the way things are now, I don't know what you can do. Because the old way of doing things was you had the money, you would it was done through like businesses, bigger businesses would fund it. There wasn't like indie developers doing all this. But,
right. Because I feel I was actually looking at some Kickstarter campaigns, not necessarily just for video games, but some that just were absolute failures. And oh man, there were some bad ones. I found one. This guy wanted, I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000 to make what he called a viral video. He was going to make a viral video of him on one of those omnidirectional treadmills riding a hoverboard, like one of the you know what a hoverboard is, right?
Yeah.
Like the two-wheeled thing,
Yeah.
it's like lean on.
Yeah, there's no.
So he was gonna do. He wanted $50,000 so that he could buy an omnidirectional treadmill while wearing a VR headset and also riding a hoverboard at the same time. There's a video we can watch do this. It's a viral video.
And it didn't even happen?
Well, no, he got like $10 and he needed $50,000, so he didn't get anything.
Oh. Okay. Good.
Kickstarter.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff on Kickstarter.
On the topic, yeah, like Overdrive, and I'm gonna actually check that real quick and see where they're at on their Kickstarter campaign.
And what is it? Hanson versus Predator. Is that coming out yet?
It is.
Is that out?
Actually, they are not. It's not out yet, but they are going to be. They are going to be talking about. They did post an announcement. So I'm gonna. I need to.
They keep posting announcements.
They did not. They have not been posting announcements. Is the thing.
Or
they just did.
I don't remember what you said.
So it is not dead. So, anyways, Overload is at 1,670 backers. They're at 91,000, almost 92,000 out of 300,000. They've got 23 days left. I really hope this goes through.
I don't know if it will.
I'm going to do the $25 pledge, I think.
I think you should do the... What is it? What's the highest? 10,000? I think you should do the 10,000.
I don't know what the highest one is, but you should do it.
You've got money.
No, for $8,000, you can attend a launch party with the studio and have dinner with the team. Transportation not included. Custom Overload.
See, no transportation. It's like that only costs.
That's how it is on all of those, though.
Yeah, I know. I don't get that. Because
They
it's
figure
only
if
like
you
an
buy-
extra, what,
they-
$300?
I think they figure if you have the money to be
Yeah, but
spending,
if they have the money,
yeah, but if you have the money to spend $8,000 on this video game, then you've got the money to buy your own plane, probably.
plane tickets like 300
Dude,
round trip.
if you have $8,000 and just like throw at some developers, then
Well,
probably
yeah, that reminds me of like the
you probably own a plane at
the
that point.
if you fund like $10 million. What was that one? If you give them $10 million, you'll be in like the next Dead Island or something.
I never heard about that. What?
You get to be like in the show or in the game, and you get like or no, it's like I think it was a movie.
I'm gonna be
Something.
honest, Dead Island is.
But it's like if you're
Kind of like
paying
barbecue
$10 million, you're big enough to get in it,
Did
something
somebody
anyway.
pay $10 million for Dead Island? Because I feel sad for that person.
No, I don't know. It was like 10 million. Oh, I don't know if it was Dead Island or something else. But as we're looking this up,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell it was. It was something that was you pay $10 million to be in something, and you get like all kinds of stuff happens. You'd be like be a zombie or something, and
Oh yeah, I remember that. Well, I think it was a contest with Dead Island. You could be
no, you
zombie.
pay $10 million. No, it was. I don't think it was 10, or I don't know if it was Dead Island or not. I don't know what it was. Some zombie game. I don't know. There's a million of them. They're all the same to me. Well, they're not, but there's a lot of them. But anyway, yeah.
We went on a fun little tangent there.
Positives and negatives to that.
Steam Greenlight.
It is what it is.
Yeah. That's.
I know people that hate it. But
Well, you're not-
Greenlight's fine. Greenlight's fine.
You're not
We're not talking about
required-
Greenlight. We're
or
talking about
early
early
access. Yeah, that's what I meant to
access
say.
is different than Greenlight.
There's
Greenlight,
you're not required to buy any early access games. You might see a game you really want that's in early access, and you could buy it as a pre-order. But
just
again,
understand the risk.
they do very clearly post the risks on there now because people didn't seem to get those from the get-go. So, anyways,
So
one early access game you had to talk about though, Ark, which is a
We
an
just did.
open world survival dinosaur herding thing.
well, I was talking about. I was just saying, it's not playable on my
Hmm.
decent gaming rig.
Oh yeah.
So even on low settings, it's buggy, really buggy. I get spawned on top of alligators like it was like more than half the time.
It's
seemed
coming
like.
out on the Wii U, I think.
No, there's
Or
no way.
PS4, sorry.
There's no way that could be on the Wii U. No chance. Like that, I don't know how they're gonna put it on Xbox One or PS4.
Yeah,
I don't even understand.
they're gonna have to fix some stuff from what I've heard.
If
But
they're releasing this game, it's still buggy as shit on PC. That must mean they're putting all their effort into the console versions, which is a red flag. But
Mhm.
because it feels like it's years away to me, or not years, but it feels like longer than 4 months,
Mhm.
which is a shame.
So moving on, apparently Destiny 2 coming out next year with a major expansion coming out later this year.
Yep.
Now I find this interesting.
Next topic.
I find this interesting because Destiny was supposed to have 10 years of content. Not anymore, I guess.
10 years.
10 years. That was the plan. They were going to do 10 years of DLC support
What the
of Destiny because they wanted Destiny to be a platform for DLC for Destiny. I don't
That's
know.
not-
It didn't make any sense then. It still doesn't make any sense now, and it makes even less sense now that they're announcing Destiny 2, which is a fully new standalone game.
I mean, World of Warcraft has lasted that long, but that's
and they've had expansions
PC.
for it.
That's PC.
And that's kind of what they were going for with Destiny. But then when people found out that the base game was just so stripped of content, they didn't like it naturally. So they're like, "Oh, well, this is a failed plan." That people just didn't want to adopt the idea of a platform.
Well, then when they put the
support.
expansion pack out there, people loved it.
Yeah, because
So
the
it's
expansion pack actually had content in it, unlike the base game.
Oh my god.
So, but the thing is, there weren't enough.
Feels
people who were
way
still,
too early.
There weren't enough people who were still interested in the base game.
Isn't there still expansions coming out for this?
Yeah, they're announcing.
And they're already having Destiny 2 next year.
Major expansion for Destiny later this year.
Oh my god,
Destiny
man.
2 next year.
They should just keep
Unless they make some major gameplay changes in Destiny 2.
Like, I don't see the point of Destiny 2.
Money from me.
I don't see the point of that.
Yeah, like unless they have to do something that you wouldn't be able to do in an expansion pack. Like they're gonna have to change some gameplay mechanics because since the way Destiny is set up, it's kind of set up like an MMO. You can't change gameplay mechanics. Really, you have to work with what mechanics are given to you there, and you have to work within those. You have to kind of work within that because then you have people doing completely different shit from what you can do. Like, you kind of already can. Like, you can get swords if you have the expansion pack.
Whoa.
But,
yeah, I haven't played enough of it, but like, Destiny 2 already?
yeah,
What
I don't know.
in the world?
It seems really sketchy. And they're not going to be getting any money from me unless they make some huge gameplay changes.
Like, is there a reason to make huge gameplay changes
like
already?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's that, and the thing is, the base game for Destiny. Hopefully, the one thing they'll learn is that when people learned that the base game for Destiny had like no content in it, and you had to buy all these DLC packs because you bought a platform for DLC for Destiny. Which, why would you buy into that? That people didn't like that idea of that they just paid $60 for a DLC platform. But, of course, the way that they will interpret this in their, company reports is, people didn't like the idea of a new first-person shooter from Bungie. It's not our fault. So,
oh my God,
it's
man.
the consumer's fault. So,
like, Destiny is popular. Like, there's just no reason.
It is popular, and what I find strange
It's
is
still
that
very popular.
They marketed the PS4 version so much that people still forget that it's actually available for the Xbox One.
It's also available on PS3 and I think 360 too.
Yeah, that too.
It's like, the game is popular. You should just run off that same game and just make expansions. Well, there's no reason.
And from what I understand, that was the original plan. They were going to do that for 10 years. In fact,
On a console, that's not happening.
I'm going to look it up and find out.
That's not even...
Because the console's not even going to last that long. But let me look it up. The 10-year plan, I think is what they called, for Destiny. Destiny's 10-year plan. So here's what they originally said. This is 5 months ago. This is like right after the release of the Taken King expansion, which I've played. It's very fun. So here's what they have to say about it. The original quote was, to think that somehow, before Destiny had shipped, we had some 10-year plan written down somewhere, it's comical. We allowed the narrative to get constructed that Bungie is just a corporate entity and not a bunch of humans, a collection of people who are just trying to make a really great... Didn't answer anything. What? Okay, I should have read that quote before reading it, but either way, I have no idea. I know that Activision said they had a 10-year plan for Destiny before...
Yeah, the Destiny franchise.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. That just makes no sense to me. But, oh man, whatever.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I mean, I bought the Taken King thing. I bought the Destiny special edition that comes with the base game and the Taken King and House of Wolves, and some expansion stuff for free. I got that for like $20 on Amazon, so I'm not complaining.
You got
worth.
the entire everything for $20?
Yeah, I think that's how much it was when I got it. But
I don't think it was that cheap.
it was around the
Ever on
holidays.
sale. No, it was like $35 at the.
Oh, well, $35 is still close. So, anyways, you know, if I with Destiny, if I feel like I might get the expansion when it comes out, but I honestly have no idea what to expect. Um, the Taken King expansion added a whole new area for you to explore and patrol missions, and that was really cool. The Dreadnought is a really fun environment to explore, but a sequel already just seems really weird and
Well, it's the
sketchy.
way things are going these days. Everything's got to be. You
But
gotta
it's,
have it now,
but,
now, now, now,
when
now.
they
Quick, quick,
when they
quick, quick, quick.
originally say we have a 10-year plan in place for this product, and then people buy into this because like, oh yeah, this is gonna be around for 10 years, and then it dies like 2 years after it comes out, or a year after it comes out, because that came out this year or last year, didn't it?
The
Destiny? I don't know when it came
I
out.
think it's 2014.
Okay,
The Taken King was last year,
so it'll have 3 years before its sequel comes out.
but it's like if it's an MMO, it needs to last longer than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially if you have, expansion packs. That's
Mhm.
how things used to be done back in the day.
And they have expansions for Destiny, like the Taken King and the whatever their current the one
Well, yeah,
coming out this month is, but I don't know.
it's loaded with content, apparently.
Hard
But
to say. Yeah, I mean their expansion, their last expansion was great, so we'll see. I'm not going to be pre-ordering anything from them, but
well, yeah, well, we'll find out. But speaking of not, or speaking of like big companies that are release crap every year, Ubisoft is actually not releasing an Assassin's Creed game this year.
yeah, that was kind of surprising. I have heard really good things about the most recent one, Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's really good.
See, I haven't caught up. I'm still on Brotherhood.
I'm still on 3, but
Meanwhile, I wear these Assassin's Creed hoodies like all the time, and I don't know anything
I
other
really
than the
like.
first two.
I like the idea behind Syndicate because it looks like they have a much more active open world because it's England, so there's like these horse-drawn carriages going across all the streets, and you can like land on them, and you can like have these big like chases and stuff. They have some really cool gameplay elements with the horse-drawn carriages. Because Assassin's Creed, what they do is they take what is iconic about their historical era that they're focusing on, and they just they focus on making gameplay elements out of that, which I think is really
See,
cool.
that is what I like about Assassin's Creed.
Mhm.
Every single,
And apparently,
you know,
Syndicate excels at it. I really want to play Syndicate.
like every new one. Well, I guess 2 in Brotherhood.
3 feels like just a very boring version of Brotherhood because it's got all of the
Well, I mean,
it's got all
those
the
are
outer
completely
ops
different
type stuff.
settings. The
'Cause
settings I'm talking about.
it has the outer ops stuff that Brotherhood has, but it's in colonial America, so the buildings aren't really as high, so you don't have that kind of like vertical gameplay at all, and it just feels kind of boring.
Because I like the settings that they.
Because
Because they're trying to hit every unique setting.
that is cool that they are trying to hit these unique historical settings.
Because it's looking forward to America.
I'm going to
but
be honest, standing at or sitting on a horse at a bridge and just like spending a minute loading a musket rifle in an Assassin's Creed game, not really what I had in mind.
Is it really a minute?
Well, not really a minute. It's like 20 seconds or so, but still. You just sit at a bridge and reload a musket rifle and you just shoot at Britons across on the other side of the bridge. And
I mean, it's realistic.
it's realistic. It's not what I expect from an Assassin's Creed game, though, and it's not really fun. But Three has not really a lot of interesting stuff actually. It had the ship combat, which was cool. It had like the introduction to ship combat, and four kind of expanded on that because it's what people liked.
Yeah, apparently.
So
The isn't there one in like China, like some spin-off one?
yeah, it's like a side scroller game.
'Cause, man, after what 2 years ago in 2014, they had like what 2 games in 1 year or something. Like one for the old consoles,
That's right.
and
They
it's like,
had
oh my god,
because there was
you were.
Black Flag for the newer consoles and then Rogue for the older
It's like,
consoles. I think. Is that right?
no, it was Unity.
Oh, it's Unity, that's right. And then Black Flag, which was basically a sequel to
Black Flag was the year before that.
it was a sequel to Assassin's Creed 4 though. Or sorry, Rogue was a sequel to Black Flag as far as gameplay goes because it was the same gameplay. Everyone loved it so much more than Unity, of course, because of that.
Well, the Unity seemed interesting
Yeah.
setting wise
I want
because
to
the
play
French Revolution.
I want to play it still because it looks
the
like
French-
they went back to a lot of like what the game.
Well, I heard it was like really buggy,
They fixed all of it though.
and
It's been
it might have
fixed
been good without the bugs. I don't know.
It's been fixed by now. I really want to try it. It's got a co-op.
When I get there, I'm gonna play all of them because I'm interested in this story.
Well, hey, let
and
me
I
know-
like the gameplay.
Let me know when you get to Unity, and we'll do the co-op in that because that actually looked like it could be fun.
Give me about 5 years.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but they're taking a break.
they're taking a break this year. That's interesting.
It's like
Hopefully they got something
one of
big
the most
planned for
overmilked
next year.
franchises ever.
But the thing is, they managed to push them out. Like with the exception of Unity, they push them out with a pretty decent level of quality. They all
Which
look really nice.
Is surprising, but
They all have the same gameplay and the combat system's the same. I heard they actually changed it up a lot in Syndicate. But the thing is, it's not one team pushing out all these games every year. They have like, and I was really surprised to learn after I played it, and I guess it kind of makes sense considering how long the game is. But Assassin's Creed 3 actually started development immediately after Assassin's Creed 2.
and then that is kind of why you got like Brotherhood and
'Cause
Revelations.
Brotherhood and Revelations were actually developed by different teams. The team that worked on 2 immediately started work on 3, like directly after, immediately after 2 is finished. So while Brotherhood was being developed and released, and while Revelations was being developed and released, 3 was in development. And that game is long.
And apparently the weakest next
Yeah.
to Unity, which is weird.
Which is unfortunate because it's just really long and boring.
Well, I don't know.
A lot of people talking
What happened?
really slow and kind of quiet actually, which is strange. Why is Adam Sandler the main character now? The main character, like what's his name? Sean? Is that the guy? Is some generic American guy?
I don't know.
Whoever the main character is, his face, like his facial structure changes in every game. He's like morphed into this horrifying, like almost like halfway to just being Adam Sandler in 3. It's really strange, but
Anyway, we gotta get to our next daily
Yes.
Kojima update on
welcome
the
this
KCGN podcast.
Kojima Corner. That's corner with a K. That's Konami.
The Kojima Gamers Network.
So anyways, Kojima, I believe he's got his own YouTube channel now. He posted a video on there talking about his top 10 favorite films of 2015, and I really want to watch it because I want some movie suggestions. I actually recently watched Hellboy on Netflix. I was sick.
I think I watched about half of it. I don't remember. I don't know if I finished it or not.
It's a Guillermo del Toro movie, so you have like monsters that pop out, and Hellboy's like, oh, boy. And so Hellboy's
No, I
like
think it-
the monster, and
I remember.
it's really cool because all the monsters look really cool because it's a del Toro movie, and it's like his thing. He likes monsters and gothic
Well,
horror.
he's got a very distinct art style artistic style.
So how
to
does
his movies.
Hellboy relate to Kojima? Well, I will tell you. See, Kojima is, and by the time this episode goes up, I think it'll probably already have happened, but Kojima is going to be chilling with Del Toro at the DICE Games Summit, which is interesting because he was working with Del Toro on PT.
Yeah.
And he also posted a thing on Twitter saying that he
Twitter.
Yeah, that's my throat. Not really wanting to get along today.
Twitter.
So anyways, he posted a thing on Twitter saying that he's talking with the actor, what's his name?
Norman Reedus.
Yeah, Norman Reedus.
From The Walking Dead.
From The Walking Dead. And also...
Or most famous known in that.
More famously known for being in PT, of course.
Well,
when you finish PT, you get a little cutscene cinematic of Norman Reedus, the player character, it turns out, walking around in the streets of some
They
city.
did all that, and it's
not Silent Hill.
Not going to get released.
So, he posted a thing on Twitter saying he's chilling with Norman Reedus, talking to him about his new company.
Chapter 3 confirmed.
So, Norman Reedus recently posted a thing on his Instagram. He just posted an image of the Hideo Kojima, or Kojima Productions logo. He just posted a picture of that with no explanation.
What could it mean?
So, with three people from the PT team coming together now, it might be coming back under a different name. Exciting stuff.
See, that's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
I think it would be cool if he can get Del Toro on there, because there are some really cool ideas.
So he can finally make a damn video game that he doesn't have to...
I don't want to make Metal Gear Solid anymore. Please let me stop. Okay, you're fired.
I'm talking about Del Toro. I'm talking about Del Toro.
Yeah, Del Toro.
All of his projects, fail. Or,
Hellboy had, a sequel.
No, I meant video games.
Oh.
Recently. His last... Every time he tries to make a video game,
he worked on PT. What else did he work on?
There was some other stuff he tried to do. I don't remember what they were called, but he complained that, or he said something like, every game I work on just fails. Or
Mm-hmm.
doesn't take off, or something happens. And he dropped out of even The Hobbit because stuff was going on too. So it's like he cancels all these things. I don't know what the deal was with The Hobbit.
He stopped working on The Hobbit to work on PT with Kojima, and then Konami canceled it. So he was pretty upset about it.
I don't know. If I'm him, I'm not skimping out on The Hobbit.
Well, I think he's more interested in horror stuff, though. Because the thing is, he was working on The Hobbit. But here's what was happening. He was working on The Hobbit, and everyone, because he gets asked this every fucking day, everyone's asking him when Hellboy 3 is coming out. He's like, I don't know. I'm trying to get it made, but nobody really seems interested in producing it. And so then he does, Pacific Rim. And everyone's like, okay, where's Hellboy 3? He says, well, I don't know. We need $300 million to make Hellboy 3. So Pacific Rim does really good. Then maybe I can do it. And then, he didn't get $300 million from Pacific Rim. So then he's working on The Hobbit. And everyone's like, when's Hellboy 3 coming out? And then he's like, well, I don't know. I'm not really into this Hobbit thing. So then he drops out of that.
Well, no, I think it was something else with there were some issues with
maybe
Warner Brothers or no, something about the New Zealand workers thing that was going on. It was taking too long. The project was stalled. And he was like, okay, I think I'm going to drop out of this. And then that's partially why, Peter Jackson had to pick it up. And they were a year behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's partially why the Hobbit trilogy was not as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
But, I wonder what it would have been like. Been like.
Yeah.
If Del Toro was at the helm, I don't know.
I don't know, because I feel like monster design would have been better by a long shot. Everything would have had tentacles, but, it would have been better.
Of Hobbit?
It would have looked better, at least.
See, I don't know, because
Del
a lot of
Toro
it
monsters
was
look cool.
yeah, but does it fit? Well,
Man, we're
a
gonna have
lot
to
of it
watch.
already had a Del
We
Toro
need to.
feel to it.
We need
Look
to
to it.
watch. We need to watch Blade 2
Well, you still need to watch the other two Hobbit.
and Blade 2.
I've already seen
That's like
Blade
the
2,
third. That's like the third Hobbit movie.
but I've already seen it.
I haven't seen
Well,
it.
I've seen all of this shit.
Oh, you saw Blade Trinity. That's unfortunate.
No, I didn't see Blade Trinity.
Oh.
I meant I saw the Hobbit. I still haven't seen the extended Hobbits.
Well, Blade 2, from what I understand of it, I haven't seen it yet, but from what I understand of Blade 2, it is basically the fourth Hobbit movie. So,
That makes like no sense.
it doesn't. So,
Doesn't.
anyways, it would be cool to see Del Toro finally get to finish one of his video game projects. Hopefully, if Kojima's with him on that, assuming that's what they're chilling at the Dice Game Summit for, at least. So that'd be cool.
Finally. But I think that's about it for Kojima talk.
Yeah, that concludes the Kojima Corner.
Here on KCGN.
It's a really creepy sounding. Anyways,
To wrap it up,
final little bit of news for today.
the gist was just broke.
Yeah, this is breaking news, as of the time of this recording, at least. Nintendo now has announced their Nintendo account. It's going to be an account system that will be used with their smartphone games.
Well, they already announced it.
Yeah.
It's out now. You can sign up right now.
You can sign up right now, yeah. I'm still waiting on my confirmation email. They never sent it, so
You just don't get to do it.
yeah. So I'm still waiting on that, but basically it's going to be a new account system that will link together all of Nintendo's phone games, so like Pokemon Go and Miitomo, and apparently also the Nintendo NX as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Kind of interested. See if we get there's like some reward program.
This is from what I understand. This is not the rewards program.
Well, I thought it was tied to it.
That it might be tied to it, but it is not the rewards program itself.
Well, I mean, it's the account that is.
Well, you know how Nintendo is nowadays. They have like 5 different accounts you got to keep track of.
Like, oh my God. And friend codes. And well, that's on 3DS. You still got to have friend codes on 3DS. Like, oh, man. What was it? I don't know what they... Well, I know what they were thinking, but... Come on.
So anyways, I'm getting to the point where I can't talk anymore, as is evident by my voice.
Because you're a
sore
bitch.
throat. And, yeah. So that, I think, concludes our episode for this week. Keep it here on KCGN. Like, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Favorite us on Facebook. And stalk us on Twitch. Watch all of our streams. Demand to know our addresses. And do your darndest to find us.
Don't listen. Don't listen to Jeff.
Oh, actually, got another piece of news here in this segment that we're totally not recording after the fact. The Fallout 4 DLC plans were announced in detail today by Bethesda. So the season pass for Fallout 4 has been available for some time. It's, I think, like, what, $30? Is that right?
They raised it to $50.
But here's why. You see, originally it was going to be $30. They said they were going to have at least $30 of content in it. So, so they're going to have over $30 of content. Now they're saying they're going to have over $60 of content. So the price is going up March 1st to $50. So here is what's coming out for Fallout 4 as DLC. The first pack is called Automatron. It's going to be about $10 in the U.S. It's coming out in March this year. A character called the Mechanist has unleashed a bunch of evil robots into the Commonwealth. So you have to hunt them down, and you harvest their parts to build and mod your own custom robot companions.
There you go.
That's pretty cool. But
I haven't played enough of the game to.
Can I stick my dick in it? You can with some of the robot companions that are already in the game. Spoilers, by the way.
You can stick your dick into the other one?
There is a female robot companion. I'm not going to spoil it, but you can romance it.
You can romance in
You can romance some of them.
this game?
Oh yeah, there's romance options now. But apparently it's the worst
I don't
romance.
have to download the mods?
Yeah, well, you see, here's the thing. It's the worst romance in any video game because they don't get naked and have sex.
Oh, okay, so it's stupid. So I still gotta do the mods.
The next one is going to be coming out in April this year. It's called Wasteland Workshop. It's going to be $5. This one seems similar to the Hearthstone expansion for Skyrim. It adds a bunch of new base building stuff. You can actually capture and tame animals now, including Deathclaws.
I don't know what those are.
You don't know what a Deathclaw is? It's like a Fallout. It's like from all the Fallout games.
Well.
They're giant, scary things that you know. Wait, how much of Fallout 4 have you played?
Like 30 minutes?
No, like how far in the game have you gotten?
I don't know.
Have you gotten
out of the
Power
vault?
Armor yet?
That's it.
Oh, so you like went through the intro cutscene and then stopped playing?
It was more than the intro cutscene. I got through you have to get out of the vault.
Yeah, you get out of the vault. That's the intro cutscene. That's like where it ends. When you leave the vault, then you're just in the open world and you can do whatever you want.
Well, that lasted like an hour or so.
Okay, so you haven't actually like played any of the actual like main game
No.
yet then. Okay.
Well,
So anyways,
a little bit.
Deathclaws are these huge scary enemies. They're like the huge scary enemies in Fallout that you never want to meet because they're scary. In Wasteland Workshop, you will be able to design and set cages to capture live creatures such as raiders and whatnot, but you can also capture, like mole rats and Deathclaws. And you can tame them, or you can have them face off in battle in arenas that you can now build in your settlements. Or you can just have them fight your settlers. It's also going to add new lighting options, letter kits, taxidermies, and more. The next one is coming out in May this year. It's called Far Harbor. It's going to be $25. Again, this is all free if you have the DLC. It's a new case for Valentine's Detective Agency, which is a series of side quests you do in Diamond City. You're searching for a young woman in a secret colony of synthetic people. You travel off the coast of Maine to the mysterious island of Far Harbor, and it's all radioactive, and there's feral ghouls everywhere. So the children of Adam will be featured, and some other cool stuff. They're saying it's going to feature the largest landmass for an add-on that they've ever created, with new faction quests, settlements, lethal creatures, and dungeons. Become more powerful with new, higher-level armor and weapons. The choices are all yours. So, that's all they've announced. There is going to be more, though. That's not all the DLC. There's going to be more DLC than that. And they are going to... they're going to base what DLC they choose to do after that off of the community feedback for this first batch of DLC. So I'm really looking forward to that.
So it goes up on March
1st? Sometime March this year is when the first DLC is going to...
So it basically forces everyone to buy the DLC season pass at this point?
Well, I mean, if you want to get it at the $30 price, yeah.
I mean, that's what everyone's going to fucking do.
Oh, yeah, March 1st... Sorry, yeah, March 1st is when the season pass price will go up. Because,
Well, I think it'll be $30 worth. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
Because they're raising it up to $50 because it's going to be $60.
It feels like that. It feels like
it's going to be worth over $60.
Maybe. I think at least 30. At least 30.
Well, no, they said it's going to be worth over $60.
Well, they can make up any
DLC
fucking number they want.
Yeah, but the DLC prices combined is going to be over $60.
Yeah, they made it up. They made the prices up, but they can say that. some arbitrary numbers.
Here's the thing, though. You know, the Far Harbor DLC is $25 because it's the largest landmass they've ever had in an add-on. It's got new dungeons, it's got new faction quests, it's got new armor, it's got new weapons and everything.
Well, what matters is the quality.
It's a full-on expansion pack. Well, it's Bethesda. Come on now.
Yeah, but they're not perfect.
Here's the thing, yo. You look
There's
at
been some bad DLC.
You look at the Wasteland Workshop DLC though. That's $5 because all it is new customization options. There's no new quests. There's no new story content. It's just So, anyways, that's our final little tidbit of news. This is the real end of the podcast.
Yep.
Thanks,
so, see ya.